me talk to you.
Biggest icon in wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Welcome. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Let Me Talk to You, episode 23. Thank you so much for tuning in. Damn, you guys are coming in quick. I appreciate it. Shout out to number one on the chat, Josh. Yes, sir. Starting off the chat with Trade Bum out of bio and Tyler here. I love it, Josh. I love it. What up, Josh? And then, of course, our boy DJ Memo right there. Cojones. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for chiming in, for coming in, and we're slowly but surely gonna get this program tonight's show. Of course, you got me, Frankie Fresco, aka Fresco Music. That's how you can find me on all social media platforms. And then my friend and my brother, who's graduating tomorrow. Yes, congratulations.
Yes,
Give a big round of applause to my brother, DiTrapio. What's up, Nick? How you doing, bro?
What's up, brother, man? All good, bro. Just, chilling here. You are correct, sir. I graduate tomorrow. My ceremony's at 3 p.m. So, I had to get a little fresh cut, get a little ready. And I gotta get there earlier because my dumbass didn't pick up the commencement pass so that they can read my name because they have like a QR code, and I had to pick it up at a specific date. And so tomorrow I have to get there a little earlier in order for me to get that pass.
So what you're telling me is that if you don't get there on early, we can't even go.
No, you guys, we can all go, bro. I just have to get there early so I can get the pass.
They won't call your name. You just walk by. You just walk.
No, I'll be with another name and I'll be like, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Kevin Crespo. Make sure you give him that.
Yeah. Oh.
If you guys don't know, we have secret undercover names. My brother's secret name is Kevin Crespo, and what's my name? I even forgot my name.
Marcelo Rojas.
Oh, Marcelo Rojas. I love it. But yes. Memo saying that he keeps a fresh fade, and Josh is saying, "Is a heartbreak with this heat. They're making me drink." Sir, I've been drinking with the heat since the in-season tournament, bro. That's how much it's been right now. Well, yeah, because even the in-season tournament, they were terrible. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Let me talk to you, episode 23. Of course, we'll be keeping tabs of the Miami Heat. It's like the Heat know that we're on live, so they're like, "Oh, we're gonna play at the same time that the show's going." So we really do appreciate all you guys tuning in to us, and at the same time, obviously, tuning into the Miami Heat. Some of you guys are probably like, whatever, I don't even want to watch the Heat the way they're performing, but it's all good. But let me give you guys a breakdown of what we're going to be going ahead and speaking about tonight. Obviously, NXT last night was actually fun. Part 2, spring breaking. So that was fun. We're going to talk about the fight that's coming up this weekend. Canelo versus Jaime Munguia. Munguia, I think that's how you say his last name.
Yeah, whatever his last name is.
Jaime Munguia. I think that's how you say it. We're then going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the Miami Dolphins and what they did on the draft. Very excited about that. We're going to talk about the Florida Panthers, and I have some videos and some photos. So maybe Memo, sir, you might show up on the videos and the photos. I'm just letting you know right now.
Okay.
And talk about how the Florida Panthers were able to move on to the next round. We'll talk a little bit about the Miami Heat, of course. Besides the Heat obviously playing right now and trying to save their season and trying to prolong it against Boston, there was some video that came out, and if you guys didn't watch earlier today on Twitter, Pat Riley was trending. So there's a reason why, and I'll be showing that video to let you guys know why he was trending. And finally, we end the night with some soccer, some more decisive Champions League, an upset, bro, freaking upset, an upset that
Definitely, it was. I thought
nobody
it was
was
gonna be a tie.
expecting this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I am surprised. I am very surprised. But let's start with, of course, NXT. And ladies and gentlemen, remember I told you last week that NXT was so good last week because we had the whole Trick Williams dragging off all that stuff. Oh, and we're also going to mention about the drafts. So let's kind of Nick, let's do this. Let's work one with the other, right? So first and foremost, last week we spoke about the draft, right? And we kind of predicted who we thought was going to go to Raw and who was going to go to SmackDown, and we actually got most of it right. Every Everybody we mentioned except for one. There was only one person that we didn't mention that didn't make it to that made it to the main roster, but they weren't able, like, we didn't mention it. But coincidentally, they actually didn't even show it in the main in SmackDown or in Raw. We had to find out, like, on social media that he made it.
Oh,
So
okay.
so from the NXT world, obviously, Carmelo Hayes, we already knew he was kind of already in the main roster because they had mentioned
Mm-hmm.
him that he was signing over there. And we also had the same thing with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker was the same situation. But the new people that made their way over to um, the main roster is Kiana James, which we didn't predict. We didn't predict Kiana James. I didn't know they were gonna move up so many of them. So Kiana James was one that got moved up. The other one that got moved up was Ilya Dragunov. So the ex champion who we spoke about last week, where I told you, hey, look, he's kind of like passing the torch to Trick Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Dicho y hecho, right there, it happened. He actually went ahead and he passed the torch because he moved on to the main roster. So shout out to Dragunov. We actually thought it was the right move for him because of the fact that
100%.
he did so great in Raw when he showed up. Um, Sir, our girl Valkyria, Lyra Valkyria made it. And you know the
Yep.
funny part about Lyra was that I had mentioned in the last week's show she would make sense, and then she actually got moved to Raw because of Beck. I think, in my opinion, because of Becky Lynch, because obviously Becky Lynch and her had that feud in NXT last year,
100%.
and it makes sense. And they needed a woman in there, so now it makes even more sense to go ahead and bring her on to the Monday Night Raw show. So we got that, and then your prediction, sir. Your prediction. This girl, what's her name? Damn it, I forgot her name now.
Davenport. Blair Davenport.
Blair Davenport making her way over. She was one of the last picks, SmackDown. So she went to SmackDown, sir, and you called it. You were saying Blair Davenport is gonna be another one who's gonna make it over to the main roster. And then the one that we didn't see, which was kind of like shown on social media, was Dijak. Dijak made it over to the main roster as well. So look at
Okay.
that. You had Kiana James, you had Ilya Dragunov, you had Blair Davenport, you had Valkyria, and you have Dijak. So you had 5 NXT wrestlers jump over to the main roster besides Carmelo and obviously Braun Breaker. What you think about that? What did you think about them moving on? And then what do you think is the future for NXT? Because those are 5 heavy hitters that were there. So what do you think we're gonna expect now?
We're gonna, WWE, they have great scouting people, so they'll go ahead and fill in those spots, make other wrestlers build that fandom, build that storyline with different wrestlers, and kind of just do a rotation. Right now, I feel like the wrestlers they have right now are still really good. They still have a good pop, and this is just kind of like a system. Like, I've always seen NXT as like a farm, like they're just farming out the wrestlers, giving them the practice because practice makes perfect, and so it's definitely gonna help main rosters or bigger rosters like the SmackDown or Raw for them. So I'm not worried what storylines are gonna go after this. Anything can happen now, honestly. But I we after now finding out that what's his name, Wesley is back. It
Yes,
causes
Wesley's back.
another like, okay, we completely forgot that he was around and that he could have been drafted to SmackDown or Raw too because of how much people liked them. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of like, a fair share of like, hey, we're kind of exchanging wrestlers and putting other wrestlers now to kind of hold it down, pass on that torch.
Well, you know what? By you mentioning that, I think it's a perfect time for me to go ahead and actually segue over to the fights that have been scheduled for next week, which are which includes one of the people you just mentioned, which in this case is, of course, Wes Lee. And Wes Lee is now going to be in NXT. He obviously Wes Lee was missing from action. He just came back from an injury. So that's why we're seeing him come back and fight next week. And then the other matches that were made here, obviously Trick Williams is going to be defending his match, his title. The big one here was Roxanne Perez. She's actually fighting against Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, they actually WWE was able to go ahead and make it kind of creative, and because Chelsea Green was moved over to the SmackDown side, so they actually moved her. And then when she came out to NXT, she was able to go ahead and say, "Hey, look, I finally one of the GMs made the right decision, and we went ahead and is giving me a title shot." So it's kind of cool. And Roxanne Perez kind of played with it pretty cool because there was a part where she was like, "How is it possible that Lyra Valkyria got drafted and I didn't?" And then, of course, um, the GM from the NXT, she went ahead and she told her, "Well, Roxanne, remember, all the champions are not eligible for the draft." So it was kind of cool that they kind of like put everything together, which was kind of awesome. And then the other thing also was that they finally announced how they're going to crown the new Women's North American Champion, and it's going to be on the NXT I guess kind of like performance area, and they're gonna have a ladder match. So that's how they're gonna go ahead and determine who the next NXT um
I think the
what
NXT
not the
combine
next, the first, actually the first and woman's NXT American champion, because this is the first time they're gonna crown the woman. Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
and is this kind of like the match where they kind of like change perspective and they don't have like a rope, it's just people around them, and then they like
No,
like
no,
what they
no.
did
So
with the Lola fight or
no, because
not?
the Lola fight was the underground one, which we're
Oh,
gonna talk about that in just a minute. This one is just the first time that they're crowning somebody for the North American champion. Remember, we actually spoke about this a couple weeks ago, and we mentioned, hey, this is a good belt for Lola Vice to actually go ahead and probably get. But I'm noticing, and that was one of the questions I had asked you, and one of the reasons I wanted to ask you was that why is it? Where are they going with? Like now that these big superstars, five of the biggest superstars moved on, and I think one of the answers we're getting is they're pushing Lola Vice. So you could tell that Lola Vice is gonna be very, very big moving forward for NXT. I think she's gonna kind of take over that Lyra Valkyria role. You know,
but
she's gonna be the next pop.
do you think she has that pop right now, or she's building that pop?
Man, if you watched that fight last night, I think that's the reason why you're gonna start seeing her get pushed more. They sold her really well, and just putting her, and of course, the Queen of Spades next to her and everything. I mean, at the end of the day, they did a phenomenal job with that, man. They sold it really, really well to the point where you had the whole crowd cheering for Lola Vice, and you had everything. But then Shayna Baszler, obviously, she was the one who helped Lola win, and Natalia. Okay, so now that we're jumping on board to this, so just keep before now that we're gonna move on to this, but just FYI, those are the fights for next week. So definitely tune in, and then we will definitely let you know who actually is eventually crowned the Women's North American Champion for the first time since that belt is now on the women's side. There is some of the stuff that did happen. I do want to go ahead and let you know that we did get a, a, the champion, the NXT men's champion. Man, I forgot his name. The big black
Trick?
guy. No, the big black guy.
Oh,
Damn it.
emo falta,
Emo
whatever.
of foam. Yeah, him. So he went ahead and he defended his belt um against one of the against Ivar from the main roster. Ivar from the- what is their names? Ivar, guys, help me out. Obafemi, there you go. Obafemi fought his
Yeah, about
belt,
family. There you go. Yeah.
fought against Ivar. Ivar is from. I'm trying to Google it now because I'm forgetting. Ivar is the name of their group. Him and his tag team partner. What the hell is their the Viking Raiders? Jesus Christ! Sorry guys, I always have these like brain farts. So the Viking Raiders. So that is
It's
where
okay.
that happened, and then that's when you found out that Wesley has actually made his comeback. So that's why
Crazy.
you were able to get introduced to Wesley. But last yesterday, the biggest fight, the main event of the fight was, of course, Lola Vice versus Natalia. And when that happened, what ended up happening with that match was that Lola Vice obviously had Shayna Baszler with her. And because she had Shayna Baszler with her, it basically went ahead and allowed us, it gave the upper edge to Lola Vice. And here's some photos of what exactly happened. It was exciting. You know, at the very beginning of the match, Lola Vice went ahead and started giving punches and kicks and everything, and Natalia immediately grabbed her, took her down. And the funny part about it is that when she takes her down outside of the crowd. So you see how the crowd is out there.
Damn.
They put her outside the crowd, and you see her out there. Like it was really good. And they were you know, Natalia was doing a lot of things. And if you look at the picture on the right hand side right here, the lower one. Actually,
Okay.
let me see if I can make it bigger. Hold on. Let me see if I could share it. Let me see here. Is it this one? Nope, nope, that's not it. Let me see if I could get you.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
I shared it on your face.
You can block it.
No, no. This is what happens when we don't have any when you're not ready for when we're not ready. No, that's not it either. Let me see if I remove it. Okay, hold on. Let me try it one more time. So we're gonna go. Oh, there you are. Okay, there you go. And there you go. Live,
Nice.
live, being live. This is what we get when we're doing it live. So there you go. It's a little bit bigger there. So now you see, she got her in the sharpshooter, obviously. But when she got her in the sharpshooter, what ended up happening was that Shayna Baszler went ahead and got the other girl. I don't know her name, bro. I forgot her name, but it's the girl that was teamed up with Natalia last week. So Shayna Baszler got her in a chokehold, and Natalia had to let her go. And because of that, Shayna Baszler and Natalia started scrapping out. And then when Natalia went back on to fight against Lola Vice took advantage and, of course, hit her with the 305 punches. That's what they
I
call it.
saw that. I
They
saw
call
that.
it the 305 punches, which I had no idea they
Interesting.
called it that.
Very
But they
interesting.
called it 305 punches, and obviously when that happened, she ended up knocking out Natalia and winning for the first time in the women's underground battle, which was fun, man. It was very, very entertaining. That's why I'm saying I think at the end of the day, they're gonna push Lola Vice because hey man, they put her as the main match for this NXT break-in. So it's like you're seeing them push this girl, and I think that's who's gonna eventually move on to become probably the next person to possibly even compete against Roxanne Perez and try to take her battle her championship belt. Keep in mind though,
That's true.
remember a while back also in one of the pay-per-views or live events, Lola Vice cashed in on the breakout tournament contract, and she was able to come into the triple threat match, and she fought
Hmm.
for the three. So I think that's where they kind of started making that move, pushing her
Oh,
to
you're right. That
make it there.
that does
So
make sense.
she didn't win it, but you could tell that they were pushing for her to be up there. So but yeah, that's pretty much what happened at NXT. Very exciting show. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend watching it because it was really fun. You had a lot of a lot of good fights. It was fun. It was interactive, and I think NXT is moving on and gonna showcase us new stars, and I think it's gonna be very beneficial for all those new wrestlers because
Hmm.
look at the growth. Look what they got. They were able to go ahead and get some of their main five five of their guys and gals, or five in total, to go to the main roster. So it's a good showcase. And I think for you guys who don't tune into NXT, I think it's cool to tune in because when you see it in the draft, all of a sudden you put a face together. You're like, holy crap, Dragunov
Mhm.
made it. Oh crap, Dijak made it. Oh crap, this person made it. So it's like you start putting two and two together, and you're not lost. Before, when I used to watch the draft, I'd be like, who the hell is this coming from NXT? But now, since we've been watching it, we know who's making their way over. So pretty cool, pretty exciting.
Yeah,
But now let's talk a little bit about this fight this weekend, sir. And the fight that's happening is, of course, the man Canelo Alvarez fighting against Jaime. How do you say this guy? Jaime Munguia. Munguia? I think that's how you say his name.
I don't know. I think
I
it's
mean,
no.
I'm terrible with his last name. I'm not gonna lie to you, but what they're saying about Canelo Alvarez is that he should win this fight. He is the clear favorite to beat him. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to pull up what the here it is. Here's the betting odds. So Canelo is minus 600, while this
Wow, they really
Jaime
think he's gonna whoop that ass.
while Jaime is at plus 425. Can Jaime pull a no, he's not gonna pull
An
this guy?
upset? No, no way,
Eh,
bro.
he's not gonna do what Ryan Garcia did? He's not gonna
Nah,
pull an upset?
Canelo's too good, bro.
They're saying, supposedly, the prognosticators are saying that Canelo winning by TKO or decision is wait, it says Canelo winning by TKO or by DQ. I don't know what DQ means. That wouldn't mean disqualification. I hope not. But
DQ.
it's at plus
Yeah, yeah, DQ
175.
as in like as in like they just get knocked out.
I guess. Now, they're streaming it in different services. They're obviously that DAZN is the main one. But for you Amazon Prime is streaming it. Amazon Prime pay-per-view. I didn't even know Amazon Prime had pay-per-view.
Me neither.
Memo saying user error. Yeah, man, because pronouncing that guy's name is I'm pretty sure I'm saying it. I'm botching his name pretty bad. And you could also purchase it on payperview.com. Sir, are you gonna watch this fight? The fight costs $89.99 if you want to watch it, sir. Are you gonna watch Canelo this Saturday fight Jaime in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, sir?
I have various ways of watching these pay-per-view events, and so yes, I'll be tuning in probably towards the ending of the night just to see how it goes. But I do see Canelo having a clear knockout of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked too much into this guy, but I will say this, and I wanna share this image of him, because I'm looking at this kid and I mean, no disrespect to the kid, but he kind of looks like he's not. He doesn't look like a good contender to go against Canelo, in my opinion. He just looks like he looks really scrawny compared to what how Canelo looks, and as you saw, the betting odds are completely against him. Like he's obviously not gonna be the favorite to beat Canelo, and Canelo, Canelo always delivers a good show. So I would honestly go ahead and say that Canelo should win this match. Am I gonna watch the match? Probably not. I'm gonna be actually DJing, so I'm gonna be a little bit tied up, so I won't be able to go ahead and watch it. But here is the guy, and again, Jaime, I don't know, he looks a little bit clumsy. I don't know. That's the vibe I get. He is taller. You can tell that he's taller than Canelo. But look at the difference when you have look when you see Canelo with all those championship belts, and then the guy not a single championship belt, sir. What about that, sir?
Hey man,
And
never underestimate, right? But he does look like an opponent that's just there to
oh, there you
participate.
go. There you go. Memo got me right. It's called the zone. There you go. I knew I was saying it terrible too. So I'm not only did I mess up Jaime's last name, but I also messed up the DAZN thing, the zone. There you go. They just abbreviated. That's why. But yeah, you're right. Never underestimate. I'll say this. He doesn't look that built. And yes, the kid does look really young compared to Canelo. But Canelo just you can never go against a ginger, bro. And that's why, in my opinion, Canelo, I think, is gonna smoke this kid. Hopefully he doesn't, but hopefully
They
it's
were
a good
saying
fight.
they were saying that he's dodging a fighter there. I think his name is Benavides or something.
Who,
Supposedly.
Canelo?
Mm-hmm. That
Sir,
there's
Canelo doesn't dodge any fight, sir. I mean, Canelo, in my opinion, is one of the best, in all seriousness, one of the best boxers of all time, man. I mean, the guy has fought all the really strong boxing fighters out there. I mean, for the love of God, he even fought um Floyd Mayweather when Floyd Mayweather was boxing. So I'm not gonna go ahead and disrespect Canelo. I think Canelo is good, and keep in mind, I became a big Canelo fan the moment that he challenged and disrespected the goat Lionel Messi, and he wanted to scrap with Lionel Messi because he put that Mexican flag on the floor. How dare you, Lionel Messi, put that Mexican flag on the floor? You don't disrespect Mexico. And Canelo went ahead
that's
and got
facts.
in his face, but eventually they social media, those guys went ahead and they actually um kind of like
Squashed
squared it
me.
off. Yeah, they kind of
Yep.
squashed it. They weren't gonna duke it out. I think it was all maybe show and
But
tell that they wanted to do. It wasn't so much that, hey, I think it was more a publicity stunt, in other words, in my opinion.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Memo, why are you hating? Why are you saying Canelo is stupid? Canelo is not stupid. Canelo is actually the man of the hour. He is the man, and he will be the man um, this weekend when he beats Jaime. That's for sure. But now moving forward, let's go ahead and we're gonna skip the Dolphins for just a quick second because I do want to talk about the Florida Panthers. So we're gonna jump into the Panthers, and the reason we're gonna talk about the Panthers is because the Florida Panthers are probably our best chance of winning a championship here in Florida, South Florida. Sorry, talk to me, man. Did you get a chance to watch last night's game of the Florida Panthers? I'm sorry, not last night, Monday, of the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, I tuned in. It was a closeout game, game 5. It was gonna be very hold on.
Oh, they're asking live. I see you, DiTrapio. I see you. You're so famous that they're even interrupting you during the show. I love it. That's how good you are, DiTrapio.
But yeah, man, I tuned in and I saw it was a tight game the first 2 periods, and then the last period, the team just got together and kind of what they did, 4 goals.
Yeah, it ended up being 6-1. So, the good thing too is that the Boston Bruins lost last night. So because of Boston losing, now we're gonna have game 6 between them and Toronto. So the Maple
Yeah.
Leafs are duking it out. So hopefully Toronto, and they're playing in Toronto. So hopefully Toronto can win. That way they can make it a game 7, and then this gives the Panthers plenty of time to rest. Um,
And it
the
helps them, if I felt like after seeing them beat Tampa, they've always struggled with Tampa. And so this is kind of like, leaping over that, like, obstacle in the way. And kind of now, I feel like the team is now much more like, confident and have more trust in each other because they finally feel like, yo, we can beat these guys, even though they went far to the Stanley Cup last year.
mhm.
Tampa Bay is always that team that kind of always used to, beat us.
Absolutely. And of course for you guys who follow me on social media, you guys might have seen that Frankie Fresco Music was actually at the game. I was able to get tickets.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to my boy DJ Memo. He went with me, and I wanted to share you guys a couple of photos and a couple of videos we took during the Panthers game. So one of the things, this is the new when you go into the arena. Obviously last year was the FLA Live Arena, but now it's the Amaranth Bank Arena. So
Mhm.
that's a real cool thing to see this particular new look for the Florida Panthers. The other photo I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. Let me go ahead and remove this one. And let me show you the next photo. Next photo I wanted to show was this, and this was our view. We got there very early. which was really cool. And by us going there really early, we were able to check out our seats. Now, keep in mind, guys, just to give you more or less an idea of what to expect. So this is the 100 section. We were sitting in, like, I think we were sitting in section 115. So for it being section 115, the price was not that bad. If you're a Florida Panther fan, or if you're just a curious fan and want to go to a hockey game, which I highly recommend, I would say that these tickets were going for about 156 bucks, 156, $157, somewhere around there. Um, Great view on the right side of the view. You don't see it, but that's where the DJ usually is. And shout out to I am DJ Genesis. He's the DJ for the Florida Panthers. He reposted my video, and he also said what's up to us. Memo is a good friend of him as well, so they both all know each other. And yes, that was Memo's first game at a hockey game, so it was fun. We had a
Very
great
nice.
time. It
Awesome,
was
bro.
exciting. We are gonna go ahead and also show some photos of course, Memo and myself. We took advantage
Nice.
and we wanted to share. So this was me right here, obviously, man. That is me right there. I
Oh,
was
damn.
2024 playoffs. I was wearing my Barkov jersey. Shout out to DiTrapio. He got me that jersey last year for my birthday.
Bingo.
So that was really cool. It was fun to be able to sport it out when I was out there. And a lot of people were taking, this was actually on the first floor. So people all the time were taking photos in front of it. The other photo, I wonder if I could just switch it up. Can I? No, I guess not. I guess I gotta remove it and then bring it back. It's just annoying. Um the next photo I have here is a photo of course, DJ Memo and myself. There we were. We were there together.
Oh, there he is.
No homo, no homo, but there we were. We both took photos together, representing the Florida Panthers. Now, I do want to throw Memo right there under the bus. He came in all black. Explain to us, Memo, if you're still in the chat, why are you wearing that man purse? We're just trying to figure out why are you wearing man purses to hockey games, sir. I just couldn't understand
Sir,
why he had that
sir,
man
it's
purse
a
for
hand.
there.
It's a handbag. It's a handbag.
Sir, that's a male. That's a man purse, sir. You know what's funny? The security guy looked at
Comes in
Memo
hand.
and he was like, "Yo, I actually have one of those too." Is this trending? Nick, do you feel that
Yeah,
this man purse is something that people are actually wearing all the time?
100%.
I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know about all this. I mean, how times have changed, because I honestly never in my wildest dreams would you ever catch me wearing something like that. But yes, Memo was wearing his man purse there. And his excuse is, I don't want to keep things in my pocket. Well, then you know what?
Good choice.
Why do they make jeans and pants with pockets? To be able to put stuff in your pockets. That's the reason why they
Sir.
have it, sir. That's the main
Sir,
reason.
you should just go buy yourself a handbag and watch. It'll come in handy.
I'm not jelly. I'm not gonna go ahead and buy one of those male purses. If I do, I'm pretty sure you or Memo will call me out on it, because I'm criticizing it, and then all of a sudden I would be going ahead and
You're funny, bro.
showcasing it, so it wouldn't be good. But let me show you guys this, and let me see if I could get the audio on this one. Hold on, because I know that this one, yeah. So check this out, guys. Check this out.
Gentlemen, welcome to Emirates Bank Arena for round one, game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tonight's matchup, presented by Celsius, features the visiting Tampa Bay Lightning
Hey, that's cool.
and your Florida
So yeah, that
Let's
was
go, Cats.
actually
Let's go, Cats. Let's go, Cats.
that was a fun video there that I was able to try. I hope you guys were you guys able to hear this? Memo, let me know if the sound was able to. Nick, you were able to hear the sound, right?
Yeah, Florida Panthers. He's
Yeah.
cool.
Memo,
He's a cool
Memo,
announcer.
let me know if you were able to hear that sound, because that's pretty fun of what they do when they go ahead, and that's kind of like the introductions for the Florida Panthers. All right, cool. Thank you, man. This is the other video. Let me go in here. Let me see, which one am I going to show next. We can show this one. Is it this one? No. We'll show this one. So this was one of the goals that took place. Show it. Oh no! I'm sorry. That was not one of the goals. That was our boy Jalen Waddle making a guest appearance over there at Florida Panthers. And shout out to Jalen Waddle. If you watch the show, Jalen Waddle, you know that me and my brother are big fans because we were able to get the gloves signed by you, sir, at Sports Grill. So shout out to Jalen Waddle, one of our favorites. He was actually the one banging on that drum, and I recorded it. And then here, remember where I told you on the right-hand side is where the DJ was. That's also where they banged the drum. So you'll see where exactly. I know you're shaking your head probably because the Miami Heat are choking, but here we go. So actually, I want.
Yeah.
Can I show it here? Is there any way I can show?
Well,
Well, you'll see like on the right-hand side, you see where that white spot is besides the net, because that's the net for the puck not to hit people. But you right on the right-hand side, and you'll see, I'll zoom in with the camera. So check it out. So that was him, and there you see the whole Panther. The Panthers had cheerleaders, and they had obviously their mascot. So that was pretty cool that they had that there. And they
Very nice.
obviously, yeah, man, it was exciting. And I will say this because me and Memo were thinking about going to the Miami Heat game, but we made the right decision not to go to the Heat game because we honestly felt that the Panthers had a better chance of winning than the Miami Heat. This is the last video I'm going to show you guys. This is the goal that I was able to get. This was an empty netter that they had, and check it out.
Oh, by Chuck.
Okay, well, my bad. This is the video of them cheering after they won. I'm so off with the videos because it's hard because I'm doing something different.
I was waiting
'cause
for the
want
goal. I was like, oh, okay, all right. There's the goal.
So I apologize. That's not when they scored a goal. This was actually when they announced that they had.
Where are the rats? Throw in the rats.
You see them on the floor right there. They're all right there. Look at them. And everybody, they're win. Yes, sir. You hear it? Now, one thing that I will tell you guys is obviously a little inside scoop here. Is remember I mentioned that me and Memo said what's up to DJ Genesis, and DJ Genesis is actually, he's a cool DJ that he used to DJ at the Cleveland there in South Beach, so we know him. And one of the things that he had mentioned to us, because we ran into him while we were there, was the fact that they were going ahead and they were showing. He was saying that one of the things that he did afterwards for the Florida Panthers was they were focusing so much on rock when it comes to the music that he wanted to give it a little more of a touch up. And what he did in order to create a better atmosphere was not only did he have rock, but he also incorporated electronic music, which was the cool part about it. And by him incorporating the electronic music, you get a completely different vibe. Like it really, really makes a big difference when you see him basically going ahead and playing all this type of music. Now, this one is the goal, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play the sound. I apologize, but you should be able to see it. And now let me go ahead and play it. And it basically...
There's the empty netter. Man, what a game.
So very, very cool. And just to give you one last inside scoop, we missed the first goal of the Panthers, and I told Memo, I was like, man, we missed the goal because we were trying to like buy food and drinks and meet up with Genesis. And then all of a sudden, once we finally, Memo's like, relax, Frank, the Panthers are gonna score more goals. Don't worry about it. And he called it, man. People were actually, at the end of the day, we got to see 5 goals out of the 6. So shout out to the Panthers. If you guys haven't been able to make it to a Panther game, I highly recommend it. If the lower section is, like I said, it's about 150, 156, somewhere around there. If it's too expensive, you could get the 300 section, and in the 300 section, they were selling tickets for $45, man, $50. So it's
That's not bad.
very affordable. And I will tell you this: me and my brother went to the finals last year, and I forgot where we were sitting. So when I look back, we were actually sitting in the 300 section. And remember our view, Nick? Our view was freaking awesome. It was not bad
Hell
at
yeah,
all either.
it was really
So
good.
wherever you sit in that arena, it really, really allows you to watch the game, and you still get
Mhm.
all the vibes. You still get everything. And I forgot to bring them upstairs. They're actually downstairs. But they gave us Florida Panther towels, and they had like the like a lighting around the towel. Maybe in a couple minutes I'll run downstairs and I'll bring it. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about. But in the meantime, yep. So we're excited. Hopefully the Panthers can keep this run. Hopefully the next round we either face Boston or Toronto, and hopefully we get to go together next time, right, Nick? Hopefully you and me can make
Correct.
the next. Maybe we can make the next time,
100%.
or we can make it like a group. So if you guys, anybody out there who's a Florida Panther fan, or want to go to a Florida Panther game with us, let us know, man. We could get like a whole group going out there. The crazy thing,
Mhm.
I didn't know people tailgated for Florida Panther games, and yeah, people even tailgate for Florida Panther games. So that was pretty cool, and the fans over there are fun. It's a different vibe. Word of advice though, if you go to a Florida Panther game and you don't have a jersey, just make sure you wear a sweater, because it does get very, very cold, obviously,
Yep.
because of the ice hockey rink. So, but that's all for the Panthers. We'll talk about the Panthers hopefully in the next round. We'll find out if it's Boston or Toronto. In the meantime, sir, let's move on to the next topic. And of course, you know what that is. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins draft, sir. So talk to me, man. Let's do a quick recap of who the Dolphins picked. So the Dolphins pick number one, Chop Robinson. And I want to get your opinion on this before we go into all of them. Let me get your opinion. What did you think about Chop Robinson, and the simple fact that the Miami Dolphins went with a defensive edge rusher instead of an offensive lineman who we were all expecting that they were
Mhm.
going to go for?
It just seems like well, with the how I feel about Chop, I really like Chop. At first, I really didn't know too much about Chop, but once I looked into the film and I saw how he breaks down, you know, all linemen and kind of goes through the trenches and finds the quarterback, even though he doesn't sack, he does have a really good way of pressuring the quarterback, and I think the Dolphins value that a lot. And they feel like they need someone like that in order for them to kind of bear them time before Jalen Phillips or Bradley Chubb can come back. And so O-line to me seems like they're very comfortable with who they have right now. Obviously they added someone and they picked up a couple of them on the undrafted roster. And so maybe we'll, after the post June 1st money comes back to us, we go ahead and go after someone like how we did with Teron Armstead.
Let me ask you something. What was your favorite part of the draft experience overall, though, in your opinion?
In what sense? Like my favorite player or like
Anything dealing directly with the draft. What was your like favorite moment or favorite part of the draft?
um well, I don't know if you want me to mention about it, but it was the draft party. That was probably my favorite part of the
Sir, why is that something that you were excited about? Is it because that guy right there went Tua Tagovailoa designed helmet? Is that the reason why, sir?
Hell yeah.
Sir, so guys, and of course, what's up, Cat for Life, and what's up, No Doubt,
100%.
definitely. So, guys, if you guys didn't know, the Trapio has been running on this amazing run. And as you could tell, you could see from his eyes and his look, he was chasing out there. He was chasing out there because we went to the draft party. And of course, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's try something different. Hold on a second. Let me try something different. So first and foremost, right, we were at the draft party. So there it is, guys. It was at Pier 5 over there in Bayside. And they had OJ McDuffie. And look who they had there. The man, Jalen Phillips. He was there. Travis Winfield. And I don't remember who the other guy was. I forgot his name. But they were giving the show. We had a good, if you go there, this is the first time they did this because obviously the last couple times they had the draft, we didn't have like that many picks, so they didn't do anything special. And then the last time we had like the big one where we draft pick Tua and all that stuff, they had it at the actual Hard Rock Stadium. So we were drinking, right? And while we were drinking, we were making our way to the middle of the bar because we wanted to watch the draft. They were showing it, right? So we were making it little by little, and we were having drinks. Now, um, I'm gonna go ahead and share this now. Again, guys, do not judge me for the selection that I actually got. I mean, I guess maybe Memo is gonna get mad at me because I was just making fun of his man purse. But I did have a drink, and a lot of people were telling me, Frank, what the hell were you drinking? Because obviously it was just I don't know. I ordered it. It seemed like a good drink, right, Nick? It looked like it was gonna be a good drink, and I just said, okay, I'm gonna order it. So this is what I went ahead and ordered. I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna tell you guys, it was fire, bro. Like I know that looks like a female drink, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this shit got me
Nothing wrong with
fucked
that.
up.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
We were drinking these like there was no tomorrow, and this shit was good as hell, bro. And the cool thing about this is that the pineapple, while you were drinking it, you could get they gave you like a spoon, and you and no, I'm sorry, with the straw, with the same straw, you would be able to cut the pineapple and drink it. So we got messed up when we drank this, which was amazing. How much did it cost? $24, but it was $24 well worth it. It was good, man. I'm not gonna lie. So while we were drinking and they were giving us our drinks, this lady comes and she starts passing out, raffle tickets. And we're like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's fine. You want to give us a raffle ticket? No problem. So we're there, and we finally made it out of the bar, and we were actually on the table. And I know, guys, you guys are obviously saying, hey, how is this related to NFL draft? Relax, relax, relax. We're gonna get to the draft picks. We just had to talk about this because, of course, it's one of our biggest moments of being Miami Dolphin fans because we've never won anything, not a single goddamn thing. And I also told my brother we're gonna talk about this. So all of a sudden we had numbers, and I think it was 258 or something like that, right? And then it was 000, and then I had 7. My brother's girlfriend Andrea, she had 6, and Nick had 5. And then all of a sudden, when they were reading the numbers out, all of a sudden, Jesus Christ, we look and we're like, what the hell? And when it said 5, this man right here wearing the 2023 playoff shirt ran like a chicken without a head, saying, I got this shit. He was running with the ticket, and he was like, and he just dipped. And there it is. The man
Hell yeah.
won the Tua Tagovailoa signed helmet. Second place got a crappy ass Bud Light cooler.
Sir, it wasn't crappy. It was great condition, fan made Bud Light cooler, right?
That was a Bud Light
Which,
cooler,
by the way,
bro.
he wanted us trade with me. He goes and he's like, "Yo, you want to trade?" And I was like, "No, sir, no shot, no shot. Am I trading that?"
Oh yeah, and yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one, no doubt. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I will throw my brother under the bus. He ordered one of those too, and he can vouch that it was really good. So, but yeah,
Actually,
Nick,
when the number was being called out, I was drinking that drink at that moment.
yeah, you were. So, sorry, talk to us, man. I know, this is us being fans, but how did it feel when you won this? And keep in mind, did you get to see yourself? Like, cause they were taking photos of us everywhere, but yet I didn't see the Miami Dolphins do anything. They didn't post you winning or anything. I didn't see anything. Did you see them?
No, nothing. I didn't see. Maybe I'll see myself in a random, wall or somewhere in downtown, and I'll be like, "Yes, look, that guy won the Tua helmet." But nah, I just got called up. I was there. They checked out my raffle ticket, and they're like, "Yeah, man, you won the silent auction." And I was like, "Holy shit, let's do this!" And so they gave me the helmet. It's an actual helmet signed by Tua. And they took a picture of me. They took a picture of me on stage. They were like, "Congratulations!" And then I told one of the reps, "Hey, look, I need." Which I haven't gotten it yet, but an authenticity card. And she's like, "Did you check inside?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's nothing in there." She's like, "All right, well, let me get your email, your name, and your number, and then I'll make sure either you get one through the mail or you get one online." And so I was like, "All right, cool," because you know me, I gotta get a helmet case now, put it together, and kind of make sure that it's all good. It's signed by Tua, man. You never know what might happen.
So we went, and then my brother asked me, Frankie, I looked at it, and then I started looking to see what was like the value of this, right? And guys, I'm telling you right now, the value of the hat was about somewhere more than $1,000 right now. And I'm like, damn, dude. So it actually was a really, really cool experience to have won that, because it's worth some good money. And then obviously if Tua can deliver, it might be worth a lot more. And the funny thing, guys, about about the helmet was that I had told my brother, if I win that shit, I'm gonna give it back. And then my brother wins
Oh,
it.
you did say that. You did say that.
I
And
said,
I was
if
like,
I win that shit, I'm saying that shit back. Fuck that.
I
But
was like, sir, if I win that shit, bro, I'm keeping this shit. And God heard me, bro. God heard me.
yeah,
Football
man,
God.
and maybe it was that he heard you, because last week you were all preaching and getting all excited because of Tua, and I thought you were joining the Tuanon a fan club out there, bro, because you were like vouching for him, and then look, now I guess God heard you, and he gave you that signed helmet. So congratulations, sir. Where
Very-
is it?
Thank you, sir.
Do you have it somewhere
It's in
near
the
you?
room. It's in the room
Oh,
right
okay.
now. It's chilling. It's in a locked area. But for
Oh.
now, it's all good, bro.
That's awesome, man. And then of course that photo will always live forever because of the cheesing you did right there when you won. That guy was so excited of winning that
Hell yeah.
prize. I mean, I would have been excited too. I'm not gonna lie, even though I was talking crap about Tua. But hey, I was definitely happy. Now, let's talk now about the Dolphins. So, obviously, the first pick of the round was Chop Robinson. In my opinion, on Chop Robinson, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I thought Chop Robinson, yes, he doesn't have that many sacks. But his ability's there, man, and his
Yeah.
his finesse and his ability to run, his ability to um create pressure, I think that's only going to help the Dolphins defense. And of course, Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb are both coming off serious injuries. So you
Mhm.
really need somebody to maybe, help us out, especially since we don't have Andrew Van Ginkel anymore. And if you remember, guys, Andrew Van Ginkel, when we put him in that side edge for Jalen Phillips, I mean, he had success. He was productive. He was causing havoc on a couple of these games. So who's not to say that bringing in Chop Robinson, he might do the same. I know he's just a rookie. He probably does have to go ahead and gain some more weight, gain some bigger muscle. But this is good depth position, man, in my opinion. They needed help on the edge, and they got it. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins go with 3-man on the defense. So you could have maybe Jalen Phillips, Zach Sealer, and then Bradley Chubb on the edge, and have those three. That's going to be more of their formation because they don't have that much defensive tackle. Now, my only concern a little bit is obviously if Zach Sealer, and let's knock on wood, that he doesn't get injured, because there isn't somebody to the same level as Zach Sealer in our opinion that can keep up with the production, or at least we don't know, because everybody's new.
I mean, Benito Jones, he did pretty well when he was in the Lions, but you also have Tart that we've got picked up also too. He's not bad, but we'll see. The Dolphins don't feel, it seems like with them drafting Chop, they feel like, they don't have enough firepower, so they want depth too. So
yeah, absolutely. And then no doubt said Tart is going in the middle. Yep, absolutely. And then on the second round, we went ahead and picked up Patrick Paul, the offensive tackle from Houston. Now, I'll go first, Nick. What I think about this kid, I think this guy is eventually going to be the replacement to Teron Armstead. If you guys listen, obviously we're all fans of the Big O radio show. Big O has this idea that they're eventually going to move Austin Jackson to the left-hand side, and they're going to put Patrick Paul on the right tackle. And the reason they're going to do that is because obviously we're paying Austin Jackson, and probably by then Austin Jackson has improved enough for him to be successful not only on the right side, how he did past season, but he'll be able to do that next season after maybe possibly Teron Armstead retires.
Mhm.
This kid is good. This kid is 6'7", 330 pounds. He made 44 starts for Houston as the left tackle. He might just go ahead and just replace Teron Armstead once Teron Armstead heads out. And then who else is there to kind of like teach him and train him and kind of give him, bring him to the ropes, which is Teron Armstead, right? So this
Mhm.
kid has productivity, man. I like this guy. This guy is not bad at all. I think he has a lot of potential, and he's gonna sit back and learn from all these guys. And I think Butch Berry has shown us that he's able to go ahead and teach these guys how to play uh correctly on the offensive line. And I think he's gonna do the same thing with this kid. So I like this pick. I thought pick number 2, Patrick Paul was a good pick. What about you? What did you think about their second round pick?
Yeah, he seems like a guy who's a born leader. He has leadership qualities. He's a very intelligent guy, so he's gonna really, fit well with the scheme that Mike McDaniel wants to have, because his playbook is a little complicated, and so I feel like he's just gonna fit right, really well in. And he's a big guy, great pass protection, good run protection, and so I think he's just gonna continue learning under Teron Armstead, Butch Berry, like you said, and kind of just give him, because we know Teron Armstead is not going to do 16, 17 games. So you never know why we might have to go ahead and pull him, because that was one thing that we were going through kind of December and January football, that everyone was just decimated with injuries. And so we just need to have that extra depth that's going to really make sure that we know we don't have to push anybody to come back so eagerly. Hopefully Isaiah Wynn comes back, and doesn't have just half a year, because that was another big loss. So it all just depends on how our players are by that time. But I really like the pick. Overall, I really like the pick. And it just shows you how much Greer is really like, he wants to, make sure that he covers his ass, because we know Teron Armstead is not going to be here for that long.
And not only that, but we know that Teron Armstead usually is only going to give us about 8 games the whole season, if that. So let me go ahead and share this with you guys, and I'm obviously on ESPN's website, and these were the next couple picks. So the Dolphins went ahead and made a trade, and they went in and obviously they got in and draft picked Jalen Wright, the running back from Tennessee, with the 4th round pick. They gave away a 3rd round next season to move in and get Jalen Wright. We went ahead and picked up another edge rusher, Mohamed Kamara from Colorado State. And then we picked up Malik Washington as well in the 6th round. The last two that we picked after that was Patrick McMorris from safety from California, and then Taj Washington, another wide receiver from USC. And Nick, out of these guys, man, who do you see as like a potential hit, and who do you see as a potential miss? Somebody who, because let's keep it real, and we're gonna keep it real. We know that we're gonna hit on every draft pick that we did. So out of these guys, these particular 3, 4, 5 guys, who do you feel is gonna make it to the team and possibly be an impact to the team? And who do you feel, obviously it could be more than one, but let's just say one, which guy is probably not gonna cut it in your opinion?
Impact immediately. I wouldn't be surprised from Jalen Wright, the running back, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And then offensive, I think another offensive piece will blow up too will be Malik Washington. He's a really good slot receiver, and if that guy gives strong performances in practice, we all know that, hey man, sometimes we just got to put just because we got Craycraft for 1 year and Barrios for 1 year doesn't mean we can put, young talent like Malik Washington, so I feel like those two may be big impact influence players aside from, and then everyone else, just defensive depth pieces. I think Kamara seems like he has a lot of potential, but he's another guy where I think we'll just have him there just to kind of make sure if we have to pull that trigger and bring in more depth, we have him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And if you had my opinion as far as like who I thought that would be productive out of this whole squad, I honestly feel that this Mohamed Kamara guy is gonna be the surprise pickup, and he's gonna eventually play a big part in the squad. This
Okay.
guy recorded 4.5 tackles for a loss. He was very disruptive, just the same as Chop Robinson. He is depth, but I really, really do feel that they're gonna try to incorporate this kid in there. I think this guy, in my opinion, was a steal for the Miami Dolphins. I think the guy who probably might be a letdown, and of course, I'm keeping it real. I don't know too much about him, but I'm gonna go and say it's this safety, this Patrick Morris guy that they picked up in the 6th round. Yes, I know the Dolphins, as if you read it there, it does say that we obviously picked up Jordan Poyer and we lost Brandon Jones, and this guy is supposed to be depth. But I don't know too much about him. I mean, and he is coming from Cal. It does say here that he recorded 90 tackles in 2 separate seasons at San Diego and Cal, and he's a versatile defensive back who can play multiple positions. I just don't feel that getting a safety in the 6th round is gonna be an impact player for that particular position, in my opinion. Now, if I look at Brandon Jones, what round did we pick Brandon Jones in the
I think
NFL draft?
5th.
You think it was 5th? Let me take a look and see. I'm not too sure where we picked him. He was a 3rd round pick, actually.
Oh, okay.
So when you look at a safety, if you want an impact player on the safety end, I think overall, like you need to go and kind of draft kind of high for a safety in order for them to make an impact. And I think the Miami Dolphins, maybe they picked this guy as like a development to see if maybe he could develop into something.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think out of all these guys, because I honestly feel that Washington can be help eventually in the special teams. I think, and he's he's a fast guy. He's a solid route runner. I don't see that many things wrong with this kid. I think he's probably going to be for special teams. And what it says here is that he recorded at least 600 receiving yards in 4 straight seasons. So the kid can catch and
Mhm.
could run. And they say that he's built similar to Jalen Waddle. So he's 5'10", 175 pounds. So I'm looking
And he
at that
does
guy.
kick returns and punt returns. So
Exactly.
with
That's
the
kind of
new rule of kick returns, that could probably help us.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, dude, that's where the only thing I see. That's the only one that's safety. I wish they would have gotten the safety sooner. Like, did you really have to go and get another wide receiver on the you know
Yes,
on
because I don't see if Izukama doesn't pan out, he's out. If I don't see Brandon Jones, I'm sorry, Brandon Jones, Braxton Berrios produce, he's out. River Craycraft out. We forgot the other kid that is always in the practice squad all the time. That Sanders guy, he will probably be another out. Would we want Robbie Chosen back? Not really. So it would just be Waddle, and we probably won't have anybody else because Tyreek Hill will probably not be in the roster next year. We don't know that. So I understand why they picked up those 2 guys there.
I mean, again, I think they could have done away with probably picking up. I mean, here's the issue. Did we really need Jalen Wright, the running back, right? Because he's a
Yes.
good running back. He has a lot of potential. And you want to say yes because of Raheem Mostert, and you want to say yes because, they've been injured. Let's keep it real. Raheem Mostert never stays healthy. Jeff Wilson has gotten hurt a couple of times as well. And Devon Achane has also gone ahead and gotten hurt. So in the last couple of seasons, we've all been looking for running backs to kind of like fulfill the injuries. So I
Mhm.
get them going ahead and getting this Jalen Wright kid who looks solid. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen the highlights of him when he ran through Alabama and everything. So shout out for them scouting this kid. My issue is, did we have to go and get this kid in the 4th round? And I know Mike McDaniel is big on getting fast running backs to help. But I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, we do have Chris Brooks, and I know he did get hurt. But we were able to find Chris Brooks, and he was not even drafted. He was a free agent that we picked up.
I mean, I don't know if it's a coincidence, but after Mike McDaniel chose Jalen Wright, there was like 5 or 6 running backs that got picked up right after him. And so maybe it's just that round where, hey, we got to pick up the running back. So they scooped up the one that was best on the board. And I don't know. I really feel like this guy has a lot of drive and a lot of passion, and hopefully we could use this guy. You never know. Maybe he becomes our number one.
And again, I have no problem with them picking up a running back, but dude, you could have picked up running backs like later in the round. I mean, I'm gonna bring it back to a guy who is still in the league, and in my opinion, I thought he was a very good, serviceable running back. I just think he eventually got weeded out because he wasn't feeding to like the Mike McDaniel system. But that's Miles Gaskin, man. Miles Gaskin was picked in the 7th round, dude, and we were able to get, and he was a solid running back. So in my opinion, I get the fact that we got Jalen Wright. My question is, did we have to get this running back in the 4th round? Could have we gotten him in the 6th round? Could have we gotten the 7th round? We already were able to find Miles Gaskin, which in my opinion was a serviceable running back. We were able to get Chris Brooks off of free agency. He wasn't even drafted, and same thing with Samar Ahmed. So you've had these guys that you've been able to find outside of the draft or really, really low end of the draft. Did we really have to go and get this kid on the 4th round? Couldn't we got in a safety in the 4th round instead? Especially since we needed depth at safety.
Hey, for sure. I would want, pick up an O-line. Anything but a running back, right? But at the same time, though, we have to think about what the plans are when what we're gonna get after the post June 1st cuts, because this just shows you that if we haven't drafted those positions, is because we're gonna go buy someone for that position, and so eventually we'll just find out by June if we do or we don't. I really like the moves that the Dolphins. If I had to give a final grade on this draft, I give them a B, just because it gives them. I feel safe that we have future, and then we also have impacting now, and so I like the diversity of players we got. And remember, it's not over. We still got a whole off season to pick up any guys who are getting dropped off now or later. You never know. I personally don't feel like we should go after OBJ if he's asking for double-digit numbers. But if he wants to come here for 6-7 million for 2 years, sure, why not?
Well, I don't know if you guys tuned in earlier to the Big O Radio Show today, but he did mention, I guess, like he had some type of inside scoop, and he did mention that Odell Beckham Jr. was asking for too much money, and that's why he hasn't signed with the Dolphins. But I will say this: if we have to give a grade to Chris Grier when it comes to this draft, right? In my opinion, I like Chop Robinson. I like the offensive tackle that we brought. I like a lot Mohamed Kamara. I think he's gonna be an impact player.
Mhm.
So Patrick Paul, Chop Robinson, Mohamed Kamara. Those are the guys who I kind of liked that they picked. I like Jalen Wright. I just think we kind of reached a little bit for that kid. If I have to give the Dolphins or Chris Grier a grade, I would give him a B- on this draft. What would you give him?
Like I said, a B. Jalen Wright was supposed to be projected on some billboards. Jalen Wright was supposed to be projected to get picked up like in pick number 70, number 75, and we got him at 120. And so it comes to show you how, like, Grier and McDaniel saw who was in the best board, who had the highest projection, but it had fallen down, and it just gives great value. And this is something tactical that I hope, and it should work based off on the offensive mind, of what Mike McDaniel brings to the team.
Yeah, I mean, again, anything positive for the Miami Dolphins always works for the both of us. And like you said, hopefully in June we get that Xavier Howard money back, and we could probably go ahead and add some more depth and probably bring a heavy hitter to help us. Maybe they'll focus on trying to get somebody on the defensive tackle to kind of replace Christian Wilkins, depending on who's a free agent right now. I'm not sure. I haven't looked, but maybe that's an option with that money that's out there. Anything else you wanted to talk about when it comes to the Dolphins in this draft?
Not really. I just feel like once we get our compensatory picks, I think we should kind of know more or less what we're gonna do with those two.
Well, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I remember he traded away one, so we're expected to get three next year
mhm.
for the draft. So I think we're now only gonna and that's including. I'm not sure if that's including our draft. That I'm not sure if that's including our pick. So I don't know if we had three with our pick or if it was three plus our pick. I'm not too sure, but I think that's one of the main reasons why they went ahead and traded one away and got this kid. Right. But I will say this: if this pans out, right, if they're able to get the most out of Jalen Wright and he becomes something big, kind of like Devon Achan, but stays healthy, then you gotta give Chris Greer a better grade at the end of the day. I would probably what we could do, Nick, is eventually once this season's over, we could evaluate those picks and see how they did and
Mhm.
see, and then we could kind of go ahead and give our second grade to Chris Greer, like our first impression of his draft, and then our final like our final impression of the draft after the season to see if any of these kids actually made an impact. And again, I understand that you want to create depth with the Dolphins, but we also need some of these kids to get in there and start playing as well, right? Because what everybody's been saying, our window's short. People need to get signed. We got to start focusing on Tua, signing Tua. We got to focus on Jalen Waddle, on Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland. So we have a lot of people that are gonna eventually be asking for a lot of money. So, in all honesty, to be honest with you, I don't think the Miami Dolphins are gonna sign all these guys. I honestly feel that there's gonna be another one or two of these guys that is gonna have to walk out, and we're gonna have to give him his papers, and he's just gonna go somewhere else. I hope that's not the case, but that's the vibe I'm getting. And for some strange reason, I'm telling you right now, I have the feeling the Dolphins are not gonna sign Jalen Waddle. I don't know why, but I just have the feeling that they're not gonna prioritize him. I feel that they're obviously gonna prioritize Tua, and they're obviously gonna prioritize Jalen Phillips, and I think they're gonna prioritize Javon Holland. Something's telling me that Jalen Waddle, they're kind of leaving him in the back burner. And I know they just gave him the fifth option, him and Jalen Phillips. But something's telling me that they're not that they don't feel like that they know it's an important piece, but I think that I get the vibe like they feel like they could eventually find another Jalen Waddle out there, especially if they're not, if they don't do so well and they get, a better draft pick next couple seasons. I think that's what I'm scared of. I don't want to start rumors. That's not my goal here. But what I'm saying is that's the first impression that I'm getting because again, and we spoke about this a couple weeks ago. I'm shocked that they were able to sign the receiver of the Philadelphia Eagles um to an extension, right?
Hey Smith.
And I'm sorry that again. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm eating a piece of rib. Devontae Smith from
Yes.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. So they were able to give him an extension, but yet we're not able to give Jalen Waddle. And I know money is a big crunch. It's hard right now for the Dolphins. I know that their priority right now is Tua, so I get that. But something's telling me like, why are they not putting that much emphasis on signing this kid? Like he's supposed to be the replacement to Tyreek Hill because just like a lot of people are saying, I don't see Tyreek Hill staying. So that's gonna free up a lot of money next year.
That's true.
That's my only concern, man. That's the only reason why when it comes to Jalen Waddle, I get a little bit afraid because I just don't know what to expect from the Dolphins with Jalen Waddle. That's all. And I really want to keep him. And remember something, Nick. They did the same thing with Jarvis Landry. They did the exact same thing with Jarvis Landry. They let him walk. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, yo, Jarvis Landry is not the same guy. But Juice was a very good wide receiver, man. Juice was solid. And for us to let him walk was a little bit, disappointing. So I hope history doesn't repeat itself and we let a good
We
receiver
shall see,
walk.
sir. We shall see. But for now, the draft was exciting. It was fun. Hopefully, that comes here to Miami 1 year because definitely I will be out there. And don't forget, guys, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like. If you would like to also subscribe, hit the channel. It's always love and appreciation for everyone who tunes in today. But yeah, man, I think the Dolphins, that was phase one. Now we figure out phase two in the incoming weeks.
Absolutely, man. It's a good time as well. If you gotta analyze and evaluate what the Dolphins have done over the offseason. Initially we thought it was gonna be worse, like it was gonna be bad, but I kind of don't have like that particular like bad taste on my stomach. You understand me? I feel like the Chris Grid did a very, very serviceable job. And I don't think that this Dolphin defense or Dolphins in general, both the offense and the defense, lost a lot, even though we unfortunately had to give up Robert Hunt and obviously Van Ginkel and Christian Wilkins. But I don't have like a bad taste in my mouth. I really honestly feel the Dolphins, he did a serviceable job for us to still be contenders next season. And it does look bright. Now, and we could be wrong. I mean, a couple months, the season's right around the corner again. We're already jumping into May. We're in May. Today's the 1st of May. So
Yes, sir.
we're gonna find out a lot about this team. So very exciting moments. There is gonna be more stuff we're gonna talk about the Dolphins. Obviously, hopefully by then maybe we have Tua signed, and then obviously maybe he's not the only one who gets signed. Maybe Chris Greer shuts my mouth and he signs with Jalen Waddle as well. So, and I know Javon Holland is a big priority. And I know there was a topic about Javon Holland. A lot of people were saying, yo, should Javon Holland get paid as one of the top 3 safeties in the NFL? Because if you look at it, and shout out to all Dolphins podcasts, because I do listen to them a lot, and so does my brother. But they were saying, hey, look, is he an impact player? Has he done anything crazy? Like,
Yeah.
you say yes, but outside of the New York Jets pick where he changed that game, give me another example of when, he's done something that has impacted the game to the extreme and be like, damn, we won because of him. Besides that Jets game.
Throughout the season?
Throughout his time with the Dolphins.
Oh, there's been plenty, man. There's been times where he's deflected a pass and has been intercepted, or he had hit of someone a strip fumble, and he's done those things before. He's done strip fumbles. He's done interceptions. He's identified.
I don't recall any of that, man. Like if you go and you look back at Xavier Howard, you could tell when Xavier made impact plays. If you look at Jalen Ramsey, remember the pick that he did at the end where he went and he launched himself and he hurt himself as well. That was an impact play, changed the game. Those are things that stand out. Tell me a time when Javon Holland stood out. I
Pittsburgh, in the Pittsburgh game, he did a pick. He got a pick from Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, but though, if I'm not mistaken, that was the game where Noah Ignagbe actually had the big game winning pick at the end.
Yeah, but he got a pick, and it caused the.
But again, we're talking about game-changing moments.
That was game-changing. They were driving up the fucking yard.
I'm talking about game-changing, like, oh, because of that pick, we won. Or because of that hit, that strip sack, we won. Kind of like Xavier Howard. Remember that first game of the season when he against the New England Patriots, when he punched the ball out and the Dolphins were able to recover the fumble and they won? It wasn't last season. I think it was the season before. And we were like, damn, if it wasn't for Xavier Howard going ahead and punching and causing that fumble, the Dolphins would not have won. Those type of plays. Jalen Ramsey going ahead and getting the pick at the end of the game. That game changer. Noah Ignagbe going ahead and getting that pick against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't think none of that would happen if you didn't have an impact player like Javon Holland. I'm sorry, bro.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good point. But I'm just saying.
He's like Bam Adebayo. People expect him to be the superstar, but he's the one doing the dirty work, bro. And unfortunately, no one else is in the team that can help him out.
Well,
like our boy Tyler Hero.
Now that you say Bam Adebayo, let's go ahead and jump into that game and see how the Miami Heat are actually doing. And I predicted that the Miami Dolphins. I keep saying Miami Dolphins, the Miami Heat, and I think the reason I keep saying Miami Dolphins because I haven't changed the banner. So let me change the banner here. Let's talk Miami Heat now. They're kind of letting us down, sir. It kind of letting us down out there. The Miami Heat are down 91-62. They're getting beat by what? 29 points. Bam Adebayo has 23 points and Tyler Hero has 13 points. And then everybody else has nothing. Caleb Martin, 6. Deion Wright, 6. Jovic, 6. Patty Mills, 2. And Duncan Robinson, 2. Hayward Highsmith, 2. Kevin Love, 2. Looks like it's the end of the road for the Miami Heat this season, sir. So
Correct.
now that we know that the Miami Heat are possibly not possibly, but most likely their season's over. If you had to give the Miami Heat a grade from A obviously to F, what grade would you give the Miami Heat?
I'll give Miami Heat a C plus.
Why a C plus? Any reason in particular? What was the good things and the bad things?
Good things. We made the playoffs. We had a of above 500 record. You know, those were the positives, but unfortunately the negatives were, injuries killed us, bro. We were very unfortunate that Scary Terry, we picked up a good player like Scary Terry, but it's very weird that Scary Terry gets this neck injury in that Dallas game about a month ago, and then unfortunately Kelly Oubre, playing as dirty as he is, and he injures Jimmy Butler. So it kind of makes you wonder, another year of what if. But hey, we just got to move on from here.
If I had to give the Dolphins, the Miami Heat, a grade, I would give them a C. And I think the real reason I would give them a C is because, unfortunately, Jimmy Butler kind of slacked off the whole season. We made the playoffs, which was good, in my opinion. Although a lot of people probably would have preferred the draft, having a better draft pick than what we're gonna get. But I think it was good experience for Jaime Jaquez. I think we found something potential in Jaime. I think he's gonna be a solid player for us for the future. I also think that Nikolai Jovic is not a bad player either. I think he's getting a lot of solid minutes. I mean, he's played 17 minutes this game. So it looks like he is getting some time, and that was one of the things that we were concerned about, that he wasn't playing, but now they're playing him out there. The downfall, yeah, injuries, man. Injuries. It's bad to see that Jaime can't play. Jaime didn't play this game. Jimmy Butler, unfortunately, with the knee situation. Scary Terry, we traded for him, and we don't know what's going on with him. And we even lost Josh Richardson, so it was just injury after injury after injury. My only reason I also give them a C is because if they probably would have taken some of the regular season games more serious, maybe we didn't have to go up against Boston. Maybe we wouldn't have to have gone in that in-game season, in play game, and have to play and win our way into the playoffs. You understand me? And then I kind of looking back, at first I thought it wasn't such a big deal when Jimmy Butler posted that photo saying, "Oh, don't let us get one," right? But now you look back and they're smoking us, dude. So why are you going ahead, and was it the right thing to actually go ahead and post that? You were kind of trolling the Boston Celtics, and now the Boston Celtics are actually whooping our ass badly. They don't see us as contenders. And keep in mind, today Porzingis is not even playing, bro. So I honestly feel that kind of bit us in the butt. And what's up? What up, Flip Mob, bro? What's going on, my friend? Yeah, I know. I know you can't watch. You can't watch the Miami Heat anymore because it's so disappointing watching the Miami Heat. I mean, I know one of my friends was rooting for the Miami Heat, and I told him, I was like, look, the only shot I give the Miami Heat is if Scary Terry was to make his way back, but he's not. And the Miami Heat have to shoot lights out. I mean, even Duncan Robinson, who's playing, he's playing injured, dude. So Duncan Robinson only has 11 minutes and he has 2 points. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurt. And today you're not even getting a solid Tyler Hero. And you're getting a Bam Adebayo who's playing decent, but again, what's the point of playing decent if you're down 3-1? You understand me? I mean, at this point in time, Bam Adebayo, if for a game that has so much significance, we shouldn't be giving him kudos for 23 points right now. We should be looking at him and saying, "Yo, Bam Adebayo should be at 40. Give me a 50+ game, Bam Adebayo, to save it."
Doubt it, bro.
But he won't do it. He won't do it, and it's unfortunate, man. But with that being said, let's switch it up a little bit, right? So even though we're talking about the Miami Heat, something did come out, and I had mentioned to you guys that there was something was trending on social media, especially on X, and it was Pat Riley. And the reason one of the reasons Pat Riley was trending was because there was a video that came out. And if you guys don't know, this is Shaquille O'Neal's podcast. It's called The Big Podcast. And he actually spoke about the Miami Heat and his time with the Miami Heat. And in this video, you'll see is Shaquille O'Neal with JJ Redick. And he talks about that championship that he won with Dwayne Wade. And I want you to hear what happened during the next season. Because if you remember, after the Heat won that championship, they kind of like took their foot off the gas, and it was a terrible season right afterwards. And then eventually Shaquille O'Neal got traded. But check this
Well,
out.
Dwayne Wade got his shoulder popped by Shane Batty in that Houston game. So that's what messed us up. And then Dwayne Wade was out for the season.
But keep in mind, you still had Shaq, and Shaq was delivering numbers. Even at his old age, he was still delivering numbers that year that they won the championship. So, and you still had Jason Williams. He was a good point guard and all that stuff. It wasn't like Dwayne Wade, it's over. I mean, they had a decent squad. It wasn't a bad squad whatsoever. But let me go ahead and let me show you guys this video. And hold on, let me change the view because I want to change it to this view. And I want you guys to listen to what Shaquille O'Neal had to say. And this is one of the reasons why, in my opinion, Pat Riley still needs to stay with the Miami Heat, because at the end of the day, this is why you give him the name The Godfather. Check this out.
You guys took that year off in Miami, by the way. You guys took that year off, I feel like.
Yeah, we did.
You had the championship hangover.
Yeah, no. Well, for me, it was, and like I said this the other day, and people didn't understand it. Winning is boring, and I said this about Golden State. Like when you win, and you win, and you win, and for me, you win, you ain't get traded. Oh yeah, get in shape, win again. What else is there for me to do, right? And then Pat kind of switched up the team, and body fat and this and that. It was, and then me, like I was getting older, and I was like. Not saying I didn't want to give up, but like, what else did I have to prove? I was going through some, personal stuff too, and and then I got traded. I don't know if you heard the story. So we were a terrible year, and Pat pissed. So Jason Williams is a half a millisecond late, and Pat tells him get out. And I'm the leader of the team. I'm like, nah, man, we're gonna work through this somehow. No, you get out. Put me out. So we get into a little tussle, Lonzo, UD. The funny part of the story is I go home, and Uncle Jerome, who you met, Uncle Jerome came in with a cigar. You know that U-Haul place down the street? I was like, yeah, I know the U-Haul place. He said, you better go get you some boxes because you're about to be up out of here. So I wasn't paying no mind. So the next time, and they set me up nice too. So the next day, because I was injured and I had a MRI thing. You know how you're not supposed to move in an MRI? I know I didn't move because I fell asleep and gang, 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 gang. So I get out and the doctors, they whispering, they was like, oh, you got to go back in. Like, for what? So I go back in another hour. Now when I get out, like, I look at the phone and Uncle Jerome, you need help at the U-Haul place? I'm like, talking about? You just been traded. I said, what? So I'm calling people. So I said, okay, I'm getting traded. So I get in my car because I want to go see that I've been traded. As soon as I get over there, they got about 30 police waiting on me at the thing because they know I was going to go in there and tear that up. I was like, just let me go get my... They're like, Shaq, we can't let you go in.
They didn't let you go into the facility?
Oh, no. No. Waiting outside. They did not let me go in the facility. But yeah, you are right. Yeah, we did take that year off.
Leia, let me jump in with one. I looked back, so you both.
So basically on that one, as you could tell from what he went ahead and said was, the next year he kind of took the season off. They all did. And, Jason Williams came a millisecond late, and he was saying that he was the leader of the team. And he kind of told Pat Riley, nah, man, don't worry about it, because he kicked Jason Williams out. But now that he kicked Jason Williams out, Pat Riley got on Shaquille O'Neal, and Pat Riley kicks Shaquille O'Neal out. Shaquille O'Neal, Pat Riley, bro, to go ahead and kick a 7-foot guy out of the damn locker room or the practice facility, to the point where Alonzo Mourning and Udonis Haslem had to go ahead and kind of calm them down, dude. And then, like the very next day or the next couple of days, he trades his ass. He's like, "Get the hell out of here, bro! You bringing that type of mentality here to Miami? Excuse my language, but palabinga, you're out of here, my friend." And then when Shaq said, "Yo, I'm gonna go to the practice facility, right, to pick up my stuff," Pat Riley was a OG, bro. Yeah, 30 officers out there saying, you ain't walking in this bitch, bro.
That's crazy, bro.
Because I know what you're doing. You're gonna come here and you're gonna wreak havoc. Either you're gonna come after me, or you're gonna go ahead and destroy the locker room, or do something here at the Heat. And we ain't taking it because I run the show, man. Nick, talk to me, man. What you thought about Shaquille O'Neal and the OG Pat Riley putting Shaquille O'Neal in his place back in the day?
It just cements how great Shaquille O'Neal is, Shaquille O'Neal, Pat Riley is, and how he's worked with, big stars throughout different decades. And so he just feels like, no one's really gonna tell him what to do, because he's just like a godfather, for crying out loud. The guy's been eating, breathing, and sleeping about basketball for over 50 years. So it sucks that there's been rumors that he wants to kind of, end his chapter in this as a big portion of the Miami Heat. Hopefully those rumors are not, true completely. Hopefully he changes his mind, or maybe he just takes it a little bit step more forward back and lets Alonzo take care of the decisions. But then he's kind of like a mentor in the background, like, hey, I think you should do this, you should do that, stuff like that. But hearing those stories kind of it kind of adds more credibility how much of a badass Pat Riley is, bro.
All right, so now that I got your take, and this was a two-part question. There's a reason why I wanted to show that video, and there's a reason why I asked that question. Is because the rumors has always been that Jimmy Butler has been a slacker, and that Jimmy Butler has been, not giving a damn about the offseason. After hearing this story, and you're hearing it, and both you and me can agree that Pat Riley is an OG. And Pat Riley is still an OG, even though he's gotten older. Obviously, he was a lot younger back then, but he's not going to tolerate that type of attitude. So are us Heat fans actually going ahead and thinking too much and actually assuming that Jimmy Butler takes time off? Is that what we're doing as Heat fans? Or is it maybe that he is actually hurt? He has expressed, he has communicated with the management, with Pat Riley and all them. And that's why the Miami Heat and Pat Riley have gone ahead and not brought up so much stuff about this, because they haven't gone ahead and traded Jimmy Butler's ass. Because if they wanted to, Nick, yes, you're right. People are going to say, who wants Jimmy Butler? There's a lot of teams who want Jimmy Butler. You get more from Jimmy Butler than you would have gotten from Russell Westbrook when he went. You feel me? So there's a team out there that would give you something for him. So my question to you is, are we over exaggerating of Jimmy Butler pretty much taking his time off this whole season and not really actually putting the work and the effort? Or is it that Pat Riley, he just doesn't care anymore, to the point where he's like, screw it, I'm too old for this, and maybe that's why it's time for him to go?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like he still is pretty strict. But the thing is that I think Pat Riley just realized that maybe he just needs to, maximize as much as he can from Butler already, and kind of wait out what's going to happen in the next few years. And then he's probably like, hey, by then I'm kind of not around the picture, so whatever. Let me not make my route or like my decisions be so complicated. Let me let the next guy kind of take over that type of journey.
So you think he's kind of burned out a little bit, in your opinion?
I don't want to say
or winding down.
Yeah, man. I mean, look what LeBron said the other day, that he has family and that his family kind of, sacrificed a lot of family time for him to kind of, accomplish his career. And so I wouldn't be surprised if something like that Pat Riley's thinking about, and kind of letting the next person kind of, get the ropes in and kind of, you never know. Maybe Pat Riley hasn't been as much. I mean, he's been invested, but it's not as invested as much as we think. Maybe Alonso Mourney's been kind of taking it down and stuff like that. So I think it's a little bit of just Pat Riley just kind of smoothing it out. I mean, he had great success with Jimmy Butler all these years, but injuries just happen, bro. And unfortunately, we'll see what he do next. I mean, now there's rumors that we hear rumors of Donovan Mitchell kind of wants to leave. Now we're hearing rumors that KD wants to leave and come here. So it's like we're always gonna be. We gotta at least appreciate Pat Riley that he made us a spot where people don't mind looking into and seeing if maybe they want to play basketball here.
I get what you say. I do want to go ahead and say that I think Pat Riley, I think we're blowing up too much Jimmy Butler. And the reason I say this is because the other reason why Pat Riley was trending in social media was because of the simple fact that they mentioned it to Tim Hardaway. If Pat Riley would ever go as far as showing let me share this with you guys. If Pat Riley ever would be willing to go ahead and let me see if I could get it the right way. Hold on. Show it again and go this way and then add it back. There it is. Okay, so they asked Tim Hardaway Sr. If Pat Riley would ever take LeBron James back, and he said that after what happened back then, Pat Riley is not going to him. And Pat Riley would never take LeBron James back. And the reason I bring this up is because, again, this is the type of, like, even though you might say that he's winding down, he still has that drive in him. He still has. Oh, my computer died. My light went out. Hold on a second. Let me give me 1 second here while I get this light working again. Hold on, Nixon. I'll be right back. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
I mean, whatever happened between him and LeBron, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised why he doesn't want to do any negotiations with LeBron. I just feel like the Heat need to just sit down and figure out what they want to do with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. We know Jimmy brought as much as he could. He took us to the finals a couple of years. And so hopefully we can land someone else. I just don't want to be like the Phoenix Suns that we just are desperate and we pick up a whole bunch of stars, I guess, and doesn't work out. And then we're like in fucking cap hell for like 5-6 years, So I'd rather just kind of go through what OKC did, rack up a couple of picks, find that superstar, and kind of use all those picks to pick up other pieces.
Well, I wasn't able to hear everything you said. I think you were talking about, like, you didn't want us to be like the Phoenix Suns, where I guess we're like top heavy like the Phoenix Suns, because the Phoenix Suns have been an issue. But going back to what I was saying is I feel like we were blowing up Jimmy Butler too much. I think Jimmy Butler has gone to Pat Riley and informed Pat Riley that he is not 100% throughout the whole season. And I think Pat Riley has been understandable. I think one of the things that you have to do when it comes to Pat Riley is you need to talk to Pat Riley and explain to him what's going on, what you're doing, how you're feeling and stuff like that. And if you tell him and keep him informed, he'll be reasonable enough to go ahead and say, okay, fine, no problem. I'm not going to, trade you away. I'm not going to go ahead and do this. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to do my best to try to help this team and get better. I mean, we did trade for Terry Rozier. There's a reason why we traded for it, because Pat Riley also thought that we had a really good shot at possibly going ahead and making another long run in the playoffs. And notice how, without Jimmy Butler, look how bad this team looked. I'm noticing that without Jimmy Butler, we probably would have not even made the playoffs. So I'm not gonna go as far and say, hey, Jimmy Butler is not the right person. We should have got rid of him and all stuff. Jimmy Butler is the right person. Jimmy Butler has been a Heat legend. Besides Dwayne Wade, honestly, Jimmy Butler has been loyal to this team.
He's taken us to. I mean, I know it's a team sport, but ever since he came into the Miami Heat organization, they went to 2 finals and 3 Eastern Conference championships.
I think with more wins, there's more expectation. and eventually there comes a time when you have to kind of reset, and maybe we're realizing that Jimmy Butler's time is coming to an end. But I'm not gonna hold that against Jimmy Butler. I think at the end of the day, Jimmy Butler deserves kudos, and
Oh yeah, dude.
even if he slacks off in the in the regular season, I'm still gonna give Jimmy Butler credit. I'm still gonna be a Jimmy Butler fan.
Me too.
I honestly feel that the Heat did what they could, and I'm gonna put more blame, if I'm gonna put blame on who or the reason why the Miami Heat are obviously getting eliminated from the playoffs, is because guys like Tyler Hero, who in an important game like today, with no Jimmy Butler out there, only has 15 points. A guy like Bam Adebayo, who has all the potential to be a superstar, only has 23 points. A guy like Caleb Martin, who we decided to keep instead of going ahead and not keeping Max Strus, who's been balling with the Cleveland Cavaliers, only has 10 points today. So
Decisions, my friend. We'll figure out what happens with the Heat. It just sucks, Sucks that we have to lose against sorry ass Boston. But you know what? Even with this, bro, I don't even think Boston is even gonna win. As long as Denver's not injured, Denver's probably gonna win the championship again.
yeah,
And
I really do
just
feel
my honest opinion.
they just
Unless
seem like
because I just don't feel like OKC and Minnesota looks really good, but the
I think
difference
the only
there is that they have more experience.
I think the only dark horse I see in the East is probably the Indiana Pacers. I think
Yeah, same.
they could be a sneaky team who could go farther in the playoffs.
Do that. Look at that. We're losing by
We're getting
33, bro.
we're getting
Come
our
on.
asses whooped.
And they're not even like easing off the pedal. They're continuing shooting threes and shit. I'm like, what a bunch of assholes.
But you want to know something? This is good for the Miami Heat, because this is a good way for the Miami Heat to go ahead and take a pressure on next year. And when we face them, we'll get our revenge. And hopefully, you know what? With this result with the Boston Celtics, I hope the Boston Bruins win, and I hope the Florida Panthers are able to go ahead and whoop the crap out of the Boston Bruins
Last year.
as a payback. That's just my opinion. But all right, sir. Last topic of the day, or of the night, actually. It's of course soccer, sir. And we had some Champions game going on tonight.
You crazy.
We had
$100 for Dallas wins champs. That's crazy. Hopefully you win, brother.
did you $500 for Dallas win champ? Oh, I don't know about all that, brother. Dallas has to. I don't think Dallas has enough, even with Kyrie Irving.
If you're gonna bet flip mob, bet that Kyrie is gonna score more than 30 points and have the Mavericks win.
We'll see. Champions League, sir. Talk to me, man. Real Madrid yesterday tied 2-2 against Bayern Munich.
Yep.
And today, the biggest upset, Borussia Dortmund with the 1-0 win over PSG. Talk to me, man. What's going on, man? Has hell frozen over? Is Borussia Dortmund going to win Champions League?
This is good for PSG because the most hostile part of the two leg now kind of shifts over to PSG. So now, even though there's a lot of pressure as a home field, I feel like they're going to feel more comfortable in France. And Borussia Dortmund plays really well at home too. So is it something to kind of like panic right now? Not really. I think PSG is going to make their adjustments. And I think PSG is going to find a way how to, exploit some of the passing lanes for Borussia Dortmund's defense. And, when it comes to Real Madrid and Bayern, it's the same concept, kind of like the hard part for Real Madrid already went by, which was playing them away. And now it's 2-2. So it's kind of like a 0-0 game now, but in Madrid. And so I hope Real Madrid is able to make the correct adjustments, and we should have Carvajal back, so that would probably be a plus. And so we'll go ahead and figure out what we do in the second leg. But overall, they were a great game. Shout out to Bundesliga, man. They always have a way of staying on top when it comes to the Champions League.
Yeah, man. I think we got a really good showing from the German league here, man. Bayern Munich did a pretty good job going and tying with Real Madrid. They probably could have snuck that win. They were up 2-1, but then obviously that penalty helped Real Madrid. And then Borussia Dortmund handling their business, going ahead and actually taking care of business and beating PSG. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm rooting for Borussia Dortmund, man. I want Dortmund to win this. I think Borussia Dortmund. You hardly ever see one of these teams win it. I don't know if I don't think Borussia Dortmund has ever won Champions League before.
They have when Robert Lewandowski was there.
Okay. So I hope they win it, man. I mean, I didn't expect Borussia Dortmund to win. I know they had loaned out Giovanni Reina, the American, over to I think Nottingham Forest, the team that they loaned them out to. But besides that, I think Borussia Dortmund has always been kind of like a really good team for the Americans. So I like that about Borussia Dortmund. And I I get PSG has never won it, and maybe Mampe's last chance to win it before he probably shifts over to Real Madrid is this year. But I'm going Borussia Dortmund, man. And if I have to go ahead and I gotta tell you, Real Madrid better be careful, man. Because Real Madrid, yes, the pressure's on more on Bayern Munich because obviously they tied at home. But if they get the first goal, watch out, man. Real Madrid could be in some serious pressure, especially playing at home. You understand me? It just depends on how it is.
True. But Madrid's always gonna be that type of team that they look like they're like shaking up at the beginning of the game. And then once I don't panic until the 60th minute. And if I see Madrid is losing 3-0, 4-0, then I'll be like, damn, it's over. But if it's a 2-1 game, Bayern is winning, Madrid still has a shot, bro. They've shown time and time again that they're always a team you can never rule out. And when it comes to PSG, I still think PSG is going to take care of the job. Mampe is going to find a way to shine, and I think he's going to take that team to the finals. And when it comes to Madrid, I don't like to give out predictions, but they're playing at home, and they play really well at home, and that's going to help them out big time.
So in your opinion, who do you got? Well, you don't like to do predictions, but if you had to pick at least a favorite to win it on the Real Madrid Bayern side, and then a favorite to win it between Borussia Dortmund and PSG, who would you favor on both? Or who do you think has the upper edge right now, in your opinion?
When it comes to the Madrid and Bayern game, I think both teams are equally can win. I can't really edge anybody when it comes to that Bayern and Real Madrid game. They're two really good teams. Luckily they got Leroy Sané back, Bayern Munich, so that kind of gave them a big offensive help, and that gives less pressure on Kane to kind of like push forward more often. But hopefully, with the adjustments that Carlo Ancelotti does, I would say that obviously I'm a Madrid fan, so I'm going to say that they're going to make the right adjustments, and Real Madrid is going to figure out how to win at home. And then when it comes to the PSG, I still think, even though Borussia Dortmund play really well at home, PSG also hasn't lost at home, I believe so. So I think PSG is overall going to be the favorite on that match next week. And then I have Madrid and PSG going. And then if you really want my prediction, I think if Madrid doesn't put their pilas, bro, PSG can win it all, bro.
Well, I'm gonna go a different route, man. I do have Real Madrid, obviously the favorite to win out of the Bayern one, just because they were able to pull up a tie. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in La Liga, they are pretty much like on the driver's seat to win La Liga. So I say the pressure's on Bayern. So I really honestly feel that Real Madrid, just with the experience, Ancelotti and those guys, they've won so many Champions League. I think that's going to eventually overpower Bayern. And I think that's why Real Madrid will move on. But I'm going to go a different route, man. I think PSG is going to choke, man. And I honestly feel Borussia Dortmund is going to go ahead and beat them. I have either they're going to beat them in France or they're going to go ahead and tie. And I think Borussia Dortmund makes it to the final. And I think
It'll
the
be
final will
wild if it's a derby between Bayern and Borussia Dortmund. That'll be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. The last thing, of course, sure, is this next Saturday. We have a big match. This is Inter Miami playing against the New York Red Bull. And the reason I say that's a big match is because Inter Miami's number 1 in the MLS on the Eastern Conference. But in number 3, it's the New York Red Bull. And
It's a big
if
game.
so it's a 7:30 o'clock game on Saturday. So Saturday's a busy day because obviously we got the Canelo fight and we also got this Inter Miami game. And there might be a possibility if the Panthers would the Panthers game be on? No, because the Toronto Boston game would. I think the Toronto Boston game is tomorrow, right? I think the Toronto Boston game.
Yeah,
is
so
tomorrow.
there's one game tomorrow, and then there's another game on Saturday if it ever goes to Game 7.
So if they don't go Game 7, wouldn't it be Game 1 in Florida on Saturday?
Yeah,
So it could be an exciting Saturday where you have all this stuff going on, and not to mention at 1 o'clock we have WWE Backlash too. Don't forget about that. So it's an exciting Saturday for a lot of us. And then after Saturday, we got Sunday, Cinco de Mayo, where a lot of us are going to go out and drink for our Cinco de Mayo. So, sir, MLS, Inter Miami, number 1 right now. They only have 2 losses this season. Not bad. And they go against New York Red Bull, who only has 1 loss this season. The only reason they're in 3rd place is because they've been tying a lot. But do you see Inter Miami going ahead and beating New York Red Bull? Or do you see Inter Miami taking this one? And keep in mind, Inter Miami's playing away, sir. It's in Chase Stadium, so it's in New York.
I say, by the way, the Heat lost 118-84.
I'm sorry, my bad. It's at Chase Stadium. It's here. I'm sorry. It's here in Fort Lauderdale, so we're playing at home.
I feel like it's gonna be a tie. I've noticed that Inter Miami's been, getting really caught off guard in early leads. I don't know if you saw last game, but last game they allowed at the first minute a goal, and so it depends on how well the defense plays in the first 15-20 minutes of the game, because sometimes Inter Miami has to play catch-up ball, and unfortunately I know Messi's great and he's the GOAT and he has his friends with Suarez. Obviously Alba is not playing because he's been handling a hamstring injury, but when it comes to Luis and Messi, they're only a two people. You feel me? You would want everyone else to kind of play really well. So hopefully they're able to take one at in Chase Field. But let's see. My prediction is 2-2. I have them tying 2-2.
Okay. I have Inter Miami winning. I think they'll figure out a way to win it. I know New York is gonna be a tougher opponent than their previous opponent. I think they played New England? Yeah, New England. I think they should win that, and I think it should be an easy win. I think Inter Miami is gonna still stay in the top of the MLS. But sir, before we go, I got some breaking news. Breaking news just in, sir. ESPN reported it about 45 minutes ago. I'm just noticing it right now. Ryan Garcia failed his doping test the day before and the day of his upset over the win with Devin Haney. So Ryan Garcia failed his doping test. He took some of those steroids, baby. Taking those steroids and beating Devin Haney. Sir, talk to me, man. The hell's going on with Ryan Garcia, bro?
Damn,
all this crap about this kid beating Devin Haney, going to Miami, smoking that coke with Oscar De La Hoya, and now he has tested positive, sir. What do you think about Devin Haney?
He's gonna throw out the false positive. He's gonna throw out the false positive, and he's gonna be like, "Let's run tests again, bro. Let's run tests again."
I mean, this is a big letdown, man. I did this. This hurts his credibility a lot, man. He might disappear after this, sir. He might disappear after this.
Well, remember he was going with. Remember he was trying to go after the elite. Maybe this is just.
Oh, the elite are coming back at him.
Not that elite.
Flip Mob says, Frankie, you're crazy, man. 20 mil at that age, I'm not saying that he's gonna go broke. It's what I'm saying is that maybe his boxing career is out the door, man. I think he probably shot himself in the foot, and people are not gonna tune into his stuff anymore because
Let's
it's a
see,
joke.
man.
He's a
Let's
joke.
see.
Let's keep it
Let's
real.
figure it out.
All right, sir. Any last words? Anything you want to go ahead and share with us? Anything before we head on out and close episode 23?
Nah, man, I'm just grateful again to have another week, another episode with you, brother. I'm also grateful that I'm celebrating my graduation again tomorrow at 3 p.m. And I'm just, shout out to all my family members, all my friends that supported me throughout this journey. It's going to be very special for me graduating tomorrow at 3 p.m. And I'm going to share my live stream link to my friends too, in case they're not able to come, that they can watch it online.
Nice. And you got a fellow FIU man right there. Flip Mob graduated from there as well.
All right, Flip, Golden Panthers, baby.
So shout out to Flip Mob, also who's part of FIU. My last comments for you guys is thank you everybody who's tuned in, watched the show. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit subscribe. On YouTube, if you guys are watching on X, come over to the YouTube side. Just kindly hit that like, man. Hit that like. It only takes 1 second to hit that like. It helps our algorithms. It helps us reach out to more and more fans. We really, really appreciate everybody who tunes in. Everybody on the chat, Flip Mob, No Doubt, Cat for Life, official DJ Memo, Josh, all you guys who are just tuning in and watching, everybody who catches our replay. I mean, we keep up with all that, man. I'm the type of person who's like looking consistently and watching, our views and making sure that you guys are supporting us. And again, I'm very, very appreciative, very thankful that you're able to go ahead and support me and my brother with this show. We've been going for 23 shows strong, and hopefully we got a lot more to go. And again, very, very, very exciting for tomorrow. My brother graduating. I think it's a great accomplishment. Very proud of you, sir. Couldn't ask for a better younger brother. So sir, I'll be there definitely supporting you, and it's gonna be a great moment. It's gonna remind me of when I walked as well. So I didn't graduate from FIU. I went to UF, but I was a transient student a couple classes over there at FIU. So I also have some ties with FIU, and I really do appreciate FIU. And one last thing, the Miami Marlins won 4-1. So what does that mean? That means tomorrow is Whopper Jr. Thursday, sir. Whopper Jr. Thursday. So everybody, when the Miami Marlins win at home, doesn't matter the score, Burger King gives you a Whopper Jr. for free. All you have to do is download the BK app, register your email, and you're able to go ahead and get a Whopper Jr. for free.
Dang.
Per the Marlins, baby. The only good thing that the Marlins have done ever is give us Whopper Juniors for free, sir. I actually ate a Whopper Jr. today for lunch. So shout out to the Miami Marlins. And sir, if you want a Whopper Jr. For tomorrow, after your graduation, you let me know, sir. I got you.
When the Marlins win, we win.
Flip Mob, how can you follow us? Okay, so on YouTube, for everybody, look, if you see my screen, it says Frankie Fresco. So go on YouTube, on the search bar, put Frankie Fresco, and you'll see this logo actually. So you'll see this on there. You'll see this. So you'll see me right there. And on YouTube, all you gotta do is just hit the subscribe button, and you'll be part of our family and be part of our, let me talk to you episode. We're also, while you're there, you could also hit that like, thumbs up right there on YouTube. It says it. So you're good. And then also, Flip Mob, to you and to many others, if any of you guys ever want to be a guest on our podcast, shoot me a DM, man. Send me a message and I will go ahead and bring you on. If there's a specific topic you want to talk about, we don't have to talk about, anything. I mean, obviously we talk about South Florida sports and wrestling and soccer and all that. But if you want to talk about anything else, anything particular, we're always open to it. We'll create a little segment for that particular topic, and we could definitely go ahead and talk about it. So Flip Mob, if you ever want to be on board, No Doubt, any of these guys, I will be happy. And what is Flip Mob saying here? He says, "Why does your brother have full set of hair and you?" All right, Flip Mob. Flip Mob, you met me when I had hair. Okay, so stop being a little B and stop talking crap because you met me when I had hair. Flip Mob is old school with me. So Flip Mob knows me for a couple years. Flip Mob knows me when I was in my 20s. So
Damn, that's a brother right there.
absolutely. And Flip Mob knows that I know his family. I actually helped one of his family members become really big in that company. So shout out to Flip Mob's cousin because I helped him drastically and good for him. He's been able to be very successful in that company. So
Very nice.
but Flip Mob, yeah, man, if you ever want to come through, man, love you as well. And I love all you guys as well. No doubt, Cat for Life, all of you guys. Memo, Josh, anybody I missed out there. Love you guys. Always here. For all of you guys here, and let me talk to you. Episode 23 in the books, sir. I'll see you tomorrow, where we will go ahead and finally take that walk. The walk of graduation, my friend. Congratulations.
Let me talk to you.
The biggest icon in wrestling.